Homosexual, no.
No, we say no to homosexuals. We don't allow homosexuals.
Homosexuality is prohibited here in Uganda. We don't want it.
An extraordinary wave of homophobia,
We said no.
which even includes a bill that would put some gays and lesbians to death. The bill is supported by one of the country's most popular pastors, Martin Ssempa, who helped host that conference with the American Evangelicals.
Africans unite against sodomy.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Pastor Dr. Martin Ssempa. I'm here in the capacity as the chairman of the National Task Force Against Homosexuality in Uganda. We are making legislation to make sure that sodomy and homosexuality never sees the light of legality in this land of the Pearl of Africa. I've taken time to do a little research to know what homosexuals do in the privacy of their bedroom. One of the things they do is called anal leaking, where a man's anus is leaked like this by the other person, like ice cream. And then what happens, even poo-poo comes out. The other one poo-poo's out, and then they eat the poo-poo. The other one they do is they have a sex practice called fisting, where they insert their hand into the other man's hand, and it goes into the anus all the way. And it is so painful, they have to take drugs, but they enjoy it. Now, if we have any children, please step out. This is a parental guidance moment. That child can be moved out. So I've done research. This is what they do. Number one, you can see a man here having sucked the other person's rectum, and the other person is poo-pooing, and this one is eating the poo-poo all over the place. Tell me, when you have a law against homosexuality, do you say except eating poo-poo? Hey, I mean, look at this guy sincerely. Bishop. Stagafulaiza. Hajat. We do not want this sickness. This is sick and it's therefore deviant. We do not want it.
Now, they start off by touching each other's genitals and smelling each other. Then this one smears the poo-poo all over the other person's face. As if that is not enough, he puts the hand deeper. As Africans, we want to ask Barack Obama to explain to us, is this what he wants to bring to Africa as a human right to eat the poo-poo of our children? Hello! I'm going to give evidence on what homosexuals do.
We found Ssempa whipping up support for the bill by showing his followers extraordinarily graphic gay pornography.
This is them. In Africa, sodomy is an abomination, a taboo, and an evil. The major argument homosexuals have is what people do in the privacy of their bedroom is nobody's business. But do you know what they are doing in the bedroom? I did research and I gathered their information. Now, they start off by touching each other's genitals and smelling each other. Now he puts his hand inside the other person's rectum, as I told you. The hand goes all the way inside. As if that is not enough, this is a man licking another man's anus. And this one is eating the poo-poo, which is now all over his face. As Africans, we want to ask Barack Obama to explain to us, is this what he wants to bring to Africa as a human right to eat the poo-poo of our children?
Does all of this fit in your mind with the spirit of Christianity, which is to help the oppressed?
Very much, very, very much. We need to know what are they doing in their bedroom. And you cannot make comments out of ignorance. The problem is the absence of shock. You know, you look at the same thing, Dan, you're not shocked.
You could play porn between men and women and shock people too, but it's not done very frequently.
Sure. Anal activity, anything having to do with eating of poop. Heterosexuals do not eat poop. It's the same way. If you have sex with a dog, sex with a cow, that's evil.
A bill was introduced called the Anti-Homosexuality Bill of 2009, which calls for death by hanging for gay and lesbian serial offenders, and also prison time for anyone, including parents, who fail to hand over someone they know is gay or lesbian to the police. This bill says if you get married while gay or lesbian to another gay or lesbian, you're going to prison for the rest of your life. Do you agree with that?
I agree with that in my country. In my country.
You think that's a fair punishment? The life in prison to get married?
So, I think that what we do not understand here is, in Africa, sodomy is an abomination. It's an abomination to our culture, to our God, and when you do bring sodomy, you practice sodomy, you bring a curse on the nation.
There's a common theory that the people who have the biggest problems with gays and lesbians have themselves struggled with homosexual urges.
No.
Have you ever?
No. That means everybody who fights terrorism is themselves a terrorist.
Are you comparing homosexuality to terrorism?
It is sexual terrorism.
Do you ever worry that you're whipping up hatred in a way that could end up being violent?
I don't worry about whipping up hatred. Actually, what I worry is that people like you who seem to hear what I'm saying, but they don't seem to understand. I worry that networks of televisions are controlled by homosexuals.
No to sodomy.
Imagine a bishop as a homo. He comes with his homosexual partner to minister to the sheep. But your pastor is a lesbo.
Sometimes it becomes quite hard to listen to, particularly when Pastor Ssempa starts doing his impression of a gay man talking.
We're equal, just like you. Just like you. We're equal. You marry, I marry. You have children, I can have children. No, you can't have children. But I can adopt.
Well, Pastor Ssempa, that was quite a performance.
Well, thank you. I consider it a duty to make sure that we get the word out.
Can I be honest with
Yes.
you? I haven't heard so much hatred in a church for a very long time.
What particular did you find?
Hatred for homosexuals. The way that you imitated their voices, the way that you obviously had a real hatred in your heart for people that were different from you and what you thought was right.
Yeah.
What do you say to that?
I'm surprised you found my voice hateful or my opinion hateful. As a matter of fact, we consider homosexuality a sin. And we do not tolerate sin. It's an evil. And God says to us, do not tolerate evil. So I've shared with you 4 stages.
Can I just ask you, sir?
Yes.
Why are you so obsessed with homosexuality? Why not about other sins? There's all sorts of other sins. What is it that really disturbs you and makes you full of hatred?
We mourn for Europe.
It's nonsense.
We mourn for your grandfathers who brought us Jesus. We mourn. We see a race that will not be there.
This is
Europe
nonsense.
is taken over by Arabs. Muslims have taken over your country. Your children starve themselves. You laugh about it. You don't want to talk about this.
This is nonsense.
You come over here and condemn us. We weep for you. What can we do for you?
I don't know, you can...
We beg you.
This is nonsense.
Abandon
This is an
sodomy.
act.
It will not take you anywhere.
This is an act.
You've never seen me. I weep every time I talk about sodomy.
come
His heart is hardened about sodomy, but he would bear the...
Hello and welcome back. This is the topical discussion on the Morning Breeze on NBS Television. My name is Simon Kagwanjala, and well, we're also weighing in on the raging debate on homosexuality in Uganda. We bring in the studio this morning one of the gay rights activists, Mr. Should I call you Mr.? Pepe Julian Onzima, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
Good
having
morning.
me. Morning to you.
Why are you gay?
Who says I'm gay?
You are gay. You are a transgender.
What shows that I'm gay?
You are a transgender, and
Yes,
you're a
I
gay
am.
rights activist and an outspoken lesbian, homosexual. How can I describe you?
I am Pepe Julian Onzima. I'm an LGBTI
What's that?
activist. I'm a human rights defender.
Legally, is there any legal justification for homosexuality?
I told you I'm a human rights defender. And I see Pastor Ssempa has come here. When I agreed to come to this show, I spoke to you.
I'm sorry, it's just
He
storming.
he cannot just storm in. So if he storms in, I storm out. Thanks for your time. I cannot go on with this debate
Before you
anymore.
go, do you recognize these things?
Pepe, I'm sorry. Can you give me a minute?
Pepe, do you recognize some of these things here? These are some of the things they use. I want to give you evidence. You see,
Pastor, aren't you being too harsh to these people? Why for once can't you relax and then think about the pain they go through as society ostracizes them?
kansoke nkubulire lwaki adduse. Njagala olabe ebintu bino, obiraba bino. Ebintu bino ze karoti ze bakozesa. Okiwulira? Bakozesa karoti zino ne beefu oyo omuwala gw'olabye alowooza nti musajja. She thinks she's a man. But she does not have the equipment to be a man. So what do? To be able to try and penetrate the other person, they use carrots. Bakozesa carrot. Ochera? Bakozesa amatooke.
I think you're being a little
No. Bakozesa mbogoya. Bakozesa bino bichukamba. Nze mbadde mulago.
I'm glad Pepe is back.
I'm glad she has got.
Can you shake hands before we proceed?
Of course. How are you, Pepe? Nsaba mukama amaanyi go gayingira omwana wa foono.
Pastor, no.
Kamusabireko olwaza yagala.
No. Pastor, let's maintain civility on the show. Let's maintain civility. Let's maintain civility. Pastor Ssempa argues that these are the instruments you use.
These are vegetables.
Yes.
Bino.
I eat this
Yes.
on my plate.
You eat them on your plate.
Yes.
You don't use them when you're having carnal knowledge.
Absolutely no. And Ssempa should stop misinforming the public.
Kati ono alimba.
Can you justify? Let me give him a chance to respond. Pepe.
Just translate what
Pepe,
stuff is saying.
You are paid heavily to promote homosexuality in Uganda. What's your reaction?
It is not true.
This person is confused and she's exporting her confusion. She's a woman, but she's thinking, excuse me, Phil, I've given you a chance. You see, a banana is different from a cucumber. A carrot is different from a banana. I want you to understand. You cannot equate. No, these are not equal.
They have a right.
No. You have a social obligation. And I want this young woman to explain to you.
Let's give him a chance.
What does she use for sex? What do they use for sex? What do you use? What do you use for sex? As a man,
Stop
this
insulting my food.
You see,
Ssempa.
they don't even want to talk about it.
Okay, let's hear from him. Let's hear from Pepe. Pepe,
Why don't you respect yourself?
No,
Pastor, can you become for now?
No.
Can you become? And let him respond.
Okay, I'll put these ones here. To see if she will answer.
Do you have gadgets that you use during intercourse?
No, I don't.
Okay. Do your colleagues have gadgets they use during intercourse?
I don't know. That's their private life. I do not know.
The truth. I want to tell you what homosexuals do. She doesn't want to talk about the privacy of their bedroom, where HIV spreads. You know that 70% of all homosexual men
even
have
heterosexuals
HIV. Listen. 70% of all the homosexual men in sub-Saharan Africa, research by the Lancet magazine 2 years ago shows that they have 60 to 70% HIV, and normal heterosexual men are about 7%. When you are homosexual, you have more chance of experiencing death from HIV than a normal person. Why? When you take a man, this is a man's genital, and you insert them into the intestine, Okay, they put their genitals into the excretory system. This excretory system is not designed to receive. It is only for exit. Kino ekyenda bwe bakikulusanya ne kiyulika ne kitirika omusaayi ne kiryoka kitambuza obulwadde. That is for men. For women, what they do is they begin their sexual acts, because she does not have the equipment, they begin to use their lips. So the mouth is used to lick the other person. That's number one. It created orogonorrhea. Many lesbians have orogonorrheas, orosyphilis. Number two, because they don't have the equipment, they begin to use gadgets like bananas. They use carrots. They use bananas. They use cucumbers and other metallized ones, and they put them inside themselves. Because they are not normal. Bitandika okuyuza n'abaana zaabwe. Kati ono otandika okulaba batandika okumira n'empeke. But let me first finish. In Mulago today, I have been in Mulago for the last 4 weeks.
Yeah, but he's a transgender for 6 years and he's not had an effect. Seen
people like her being patched up. Baba tunga emabega, baba tunga bunda, baba salamu nabana.
I wish you
ono yayina amabere. Wuliriza. No, they don't want to enter into the bwino. Kankujireyo bwino. Bamire empeke, kati ono amire empeke. Empeke ezo nezitandika munyiganyiga. Owulira? Empeke ezirimu obusajja testosterone. Okiwulira? That is why you begin to see someone begins to change. Mwana muwala naye akyuka. Amabere bagasalako. Owulira? Ne bakatono bw'omukebera oyinza okusanga yayina amabere ne bagenda South Africa ne bagenda wa ne bagasalako. They cut off their breasts to look like. Then you see a girl who looks like, dressed like a man, and it confuses you. For Europeans, ekyo kye bakubira engalo. I want you to know
why do Europeans condone it and we condemn it in Africa?
Because you see, for us it is a human vice. For them they are calling it a human right. It's a human vice. For them it's a human right. They call it a human right defender. Yesterday, the European Union ambassador to African Union donated 1.8 million European euros for these ones. Every day Baba was sent. Finally, I want to tell you, in Uganda, the first man and woman is called Nambi Nechintu.
Pastor, before you go there, you've made
Nambi and Chintu was a homosexual.
You've made several allegations.
That is why for Europeans, homosexuality.
Pepe, you have the platform. Pepe, you have the platform. Without being interrupted by Pastor, medically.
What is your clan?
My family loves me as I am.
What is your clan?
Actually, even right now,
what is your tribe?
Would your parents?
I choose not to tell you.
Onzima, would your parents? Onzima, no. Pastor, hold it, please. Pastor, rather, Pepe.
I cannot believe you put me on a show with a hooligan.
Pastor, this anti-gay activism.
No, me, I'm not an anti-gay. Me, I'm anti-sodomy. Nagano kulimbibwa. Gay is being happy. Me, I'm gay. I'm happy. But this is the confusion. They say to be a sodomite is to be happy. No, me, I'm anti-sodomy. Zenwanyi sabisiyaga. Ndekamo kamera wano mbabulire. Fenga abana babaddugavu. Abasajja basajja kabaka. Ono simanyi java. Owulira, singa waliyo amanyi omwana ono oba omukulu w'ekika. Twetaaga tumukuŋŋaanye era nkubira omulanga oyo gaabunga akulembera ekika ky'emmamba. Kubanga karoti zino muziraba, amatooke gano ge beesonseka, bino bicukkamba bye beesonseka, abazungu ne babakubira akagombe nti buli baakabi, Clinton n'abawa award.
You must learn how to say no. I do not want to have sex. And if they are not responding, this is what you must do.
I'm delighted to see Pastor Martin Ssempa. He's finally here. At least you came in at a time when we're looking at the religious perspective towards the marriage and divorce bill.
Yes.
We would like to hear your stance.
This bill is to help protect marriages. And I think we all agree that marriages are in trouble in this country.
Yes.
We have dralus of this world killing their husbands or boyfriends. A whole general killed by dralu. We have women running over husbands at the gate and then husbands killing their wives.
We have husbands killing their wives.
And then wives killing wives. My sister is here laboring an issue that of marital equality and marriage rape, which I would like to address, and hopefully today I will get an apology from my sister Matembe, because I want to give her data on this issue of marital rape, which will show that this thing is a myth. I've heard Miriam Matembe talk about that these men, on this issue of justifying marital rape, that these men, they jump on their women and they are like cows, and the women have just given birth and they just come to them, they even stick inside them. So I said, you know what, they cause fistula, cancer. So I went to Mulago, you understand, yes, obstetrics and gynecology, and I said, is there a single woman here who has been given birth and has come over here because her husband has raped her? And the answer was a resounding no. I said, is there a single study that any of these people who are championing this bill can give that such and such a study? Not a single study. But it is anecdotal information. Me, when I was here. Me, when I was in Chanamukaka. Me, when I was over here. A certain woman came. We cannot make a law based on anecdotal information. And when they say marriage, that sex without consent is a crime, how do you define consent? Does the husband now need a note to say, okay, here, we are going to have sex? Number two, is there a tender offered? Is there an LP, an invoice, and a receipt? It becomes ridiculous when you bring the state inside the bedroom, and we must be very, very careful. Embozi y'abakulu, oluyimba lw'abaagalana. Kati waliwo omwami nga bw'aba ayogera n'omukyala we nti engeri gye boogera nti njagala buliri, yayina engeri gy'ayogera oluyimba olwo. Bayinza n'okubeera mu kisenge awo n'owulira enkulusanyo, omukazi agamba wanyita bananga omushize yanyita wanyita, n'olowooza nti ki musango, ate bagenda okuva mu kisenge nga baseka.
Honorable, let's hear from Honorable Miriam Matembe. Pastor Ssempa.
Bino ebyogamba nti we arrest that man. Mbumen simanya they sticks inside women's private parts. Bubabatekamu ebyuma. Matembe, you must apologize to men. You are creating a bad reputation about marriage. You are scaring young women from getting married by saying that men are bad. They may be a few like Dralu, but not all women are like Dralu. You are not a Dralu. There may be a few misguided men. They are there. But don't say, oh, men.
Honorable.
And because of that, young women are looking at men as if we are not a good product to marry. Now they are thinking, if we don't go to marriage to men, where do we go? Lesbianism. So she may not knowingly know that you are pushing marriage away, that you are bringing a bad reputation about men, that you are pandering to a bill.
Pastor, let's do justice to Honorable Miriam. Honorable, could we hear your response?
I want to burst. Let me finish. She has been here 30 minutes. 30 minutes, please.
No, but you came in late.
I know. I deliberately wanted to do that because I wanted my sister to have her time, so that I can respond to her issues.
Now, Chairman,
I'm telling
can you control or I walk out?
No, Pastor, let's have some civility here.
Okay, let her
Can
respond.
I hear from Honorable Miriam Matembe? Honorable, can I hear from you?
Excuse me.
No, we are being civil here. We are being civil. We are being civil. Honorable Miriam, can I hear from you?
Let me tell you.
Yes.
In fact, if you had told me that Ssempa was coming here, maybe I would have turned it down. Because Ssempa has been attacking me. I don't listen. The way he has done it right now, he's been attacking me. He came here angry to attack me. But that's why I wanted you. Let him attack when he finishes. Yes.
Pastor is done. Pastor is done.
No,
Honorable,
I have my data.
Honorable, Pastor is done. I won't let him speak before you respond. Honorable, this is your time.
I am not here. I did not come here to respond to Ssempa.